Heyo, Omni dogs and Omni kittens. It's Omni Dog. Hey, what's going on? With Omni Dog from Omni Dog's Vault. Sure, yeah, you know that. And I've got an overview for what I believe is the final omnibus of the Silver Age for the Legion of Superheroes. This is just going to be an overview, just so you can see what the art is like and what some of the stories are like. These are stories I'm very familiar with. And the main attraction, but first of all, you get a plain black board with some raised lettering, which is typical. But the good news is you have an excellent table of contents. And the big news is right here. Jim Shooter, 14 years old when he wrote most of these stories. Starting at 14, back in probably 67 or 68. What's it say here? October 67. With Kurt Swan and George Klein as the cover artists. Artist is Jim Mooney, but October 67, a 14-year-old Jim Shooter took over for Legion of Superheroes, and it became a really interesting, fun comic. And I think that is what Jim Shooter brought back. This is a classic cover, I think. This is the first one he wrote, I believe. Maybe he wrote some in the second omnibus, but I think this is his first appearance as a writer. And, 14 years old, that's pretty remarkable. And he knew what to bring to the table. As a 14-year-old, he knew what other teenagers and youngsters. In 67, I was 8 years old, and so that's when I would have been reading this. I remember collecting these issues. Here is still the most ridiculous superhero ever, Bouncing Boy. I mean, if you can make him interesting, you're doing something as a writer. Because I still think he's the most ridiculous. I mean, he's on the same page as Superboy. That's ridiculous. But these stories, first of all, I like Jim Mooney's art a lot. He did a lot of Silver Age Supergirl, so I was very familiar with it, with his art, and I really like it. So Jim Shooter brought back a sense of fun, exciting adventure, really interesting fun, interesting enemies, some a little raising of the bar intellectually, maybe, as he got older and as he got older and the stories went from 67 to 1970, which is where these ended. This villain looks like Dr. Savannah from Captain Marvel. And he's got a little bit of an arc that continues through this part of the Omni. But, and here is the great Revolt of the Super Pets. I love this issue. The Super Pets, Comet, Crypto, Beppo, and Streaky the cat. Super Pets. This shows you where we were at DC, but God, I love the Super Pets. So in this, and I should have, and I thought this issue was great. It was, he put I remember this well, the villain put the Legion in all kinds of targeted, it was the Fatal Five, targeted traps that they could not escape from. And let's see, this looks like it may be Neil Adams. Let's see, he drew a lot of the he drew a lot of the covers for Adventure Comics. Neil Adams, okay. And Escape from the Fatal Five. Okay, yeah, 365, it's Neil Adams. And that was his first cover, and he did a lot of covers. So it's really nice to see these Neil Adams covers. Oh, this is cool. Didn't pick up on this. Where's this? Oh, this is cool. Origin and powers of the Legion of Superheroes. So that's definitely Neil Adams. So the art is really good. Stories are, I think, more interesting than in general. And here we have Lana Lang as Insect Queen, which is, of course, great. That was super typical Silver Age stuff with Pete Ross, and there's Insect Queen right there. Pete Ross, Superboy's childhood best friend who knew Superboy was Clark Kent. And this is definitely Neil Adams here. Mordru the Merciless. And I think this is Win Mortimer. Yeah, I liked Win Mortimer's art. I think he did a good job. He was not really super popular. Maybe he was, but I really liked Win Mortimer's art. So I like that he gets a good chunk of stuff in here. There was a oh, whoa, what? I forgot about this. Flash. Oh, these twins are. That's who they are. Well, I just wrecked the story. The Tornado Twins are actually descendants of Barry Allen. Now I remember this. But Jim Shooter did try. These were the late '60s, and he didn't work in like civil rights, but he did try and work in equal rights for women as a kind of a touchstone. Times are changing. Times are changing. So I thought that was interesting. He would bring something like back in the late '60s, equal rights for women into a Legion book was pretty revolutionary, because women, even though this was the, I don't know, 32nd century or whatever, women generally were still considered second class citizens, I think. These were, written with the mindset of the '60s. But I give him full points for working it in there. And we get Supergirl appearances, which are cool. Princess Projecta, Princess Projecta, Karate Kid, Saturn Girl. Of course, lots of Superboy. Shadow Lass plays a big part in this. In this Omni, there's lots of lots of the women get a lot of face time in this Omni, which is great because they actually have some of the most interesting powers. Like Dream Girl can predict the future through her dreams, which I think was actually interesting. Princess Projecta could project images, that were people believed monsters or duplicates of you. She could project them. They were exact duplicates. Shrinking Violet, I thought she was a good character. Um, so this is what took us right into the Bronze Age, and I really dug. Let's see, this was a really cool comic where this guy can stop time and like dimensionally, he can stop everything in the third dimension, the fourth dimension, every kind of thing. He can stop it, and he does it for their benefit. And I remember really liking it. So even Bouncing Boy gets some FaceTime in this book. And hey, I apologize if Bouncing Boy is your favorite character. Look at that. He gets a cover. That's definitely Neil Adams. That's Neil Adams. So this is pretty much it. It's a super fun. I highly recommend it if you are into the Silver Age at all. It's funny that no Batman or Superman yet, but they've got Legion of Superheroes and Adam Strange and Doom Patrol, which is of course better than nothing. So, but the Silver Age, you can still grab a chunk of it when it's when you're willing to drop down from Batman and Superman. There's plenty of Silver Age stuff going on. Here's one thing. Let's see. Here, a woman is the president or the ruler of her planet, and it's a matriarchal system. Their women are the stronger dominant sex. We have a patriarchal background, but we believe in the equality of the sexes, says Karate Kid. Yet in the next page, the women are the ones in charge of all the sewing and the fashion and the decorating of the headquarters. So it's still fun, and I really dig it. what I'd love is a Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen omnibus for Silver Age. That would be great. But for Silver Age, Legion of Superheroes has you covered. And I think it's really fun. So there's nothing really at the end except for biographies, which is cool. And Jim Shooter, born in 1951. And it gives his whole biography, which actually could probably fill up a whole page here. And there's Matter Eater Lad eating some matter. Yeah, now I'm rambling just because I love this book so much. So go out, get Silver Age Legion of Superheroes. This is OmniDog signing out. Thank you very much for tuning in. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe, and feel free to leave a comment. And thanks for tuning in. Peace and love. Peace and love.